Hey, good morning, guys. I'm parked outside my my workplace. I'm gonna go in, but I want to do a quick video on what I don't even know what I want to call it. I was thinking about what was in my core, and the reason I was thinking about that was yesterday the kids were just getting on my nerves. The noise, the yelling. Dee Dee was yelling at the kids, and the kids were yelling at Dee Dee, and and my wife had saw the look on my face, and so she was just like, are you okay, babe? What's wrong? And I was like, honey, I'm just, it's just the noise. It's just the noise, and Dee Dee and the kids live with me and my wife, and we've had people living with us since we've gotten married, and mind you, I love my family. Anybody who's on my Facebook page, you can see that I enjoy my grandkids, and Dee Dee's planning on moving out this year, and that's all Gucci, and I will miss them, but I didn't miss them yesterday. I was just tired of it, and part of the problem is it's May. My birthday just went by. My birthday was on May 18th, and because of this pandemic and the quarantine and the lockdown, like you guys, I've had a lot of my routine disrupted, and by now we would have already been on vacation. I would have already gone on several backpacking trips or camping trips, and I'm seeing now how crucial that was for my mental functioning. For me to get away, for me to go spend that time alone in the woods, to just write, or just to get some me time, and she was talking, and she's like, I understand, and I was hoping she would say, let's go on vacation right now, Will. And of course she didn't say that, but I was struggling, and we've been watching this TV series called Alone on the History Channel, and I'm loving it. I'm digging it, and it's about these 10 contestants that are dropped off on an island, and they have to build shelter and find their own food and just deal with not only the environment, which is treacherous, but also the animals that are there. I mean, there are bears, wolves, and cougars. And you guys know I'm an outdoor guy. I would love the opportunity to go on a show like that, but of course my wife said no. Part of me is just like, you're not the boss of me. But it's a mute point because, we're all in lockdown. I'm not going on a show. I'm not going on a show to be away from my family for months at a time with the ever-changing environment we're in right now. There's no way. But needless to say, I was all up in my head yesterday watching this TV show, just watching it, just thinking like, man, that would be just wonderful to be in the peace and quiet. But as I watched the show, the hardest part about the struggle was as they got down to the last 4 contestants. The hardest part wasn't even finding food. I mean, even though that was difficult, a lot of them, they all lost weight, which I thought was a bonus for me. But the most difficult part was not just dealing with the hunger, but was dealing with the alone time. After a while, they all started missing people and relationships, and for some who weren't married that are on the show, it was almost like it was too much time alone to deal with their own personal demons. And I think about that, as we were all locked down in this quarantine, dealing with the pandemic and the not just the loss of our own civil liberties, and I'm not trying to even get political, but the loss of our friends and family who died through this, and to me, the greatest thing was the loss of, well, coping coping mechanisms, for a lot of people, I mean, if you just look on YouTube, you just tune in on Walmart fights. I mean, Walmart has become a battle zone for some areas, where people are just fighting over anything. And I know the problem is because for a lot of us in this nation, our comforts and conveniences have been stripped away, and it's to me it's amazing, because and I look at myself, I mean, here I am complaining because we couldn't go to Florida, because I couldn't go camping, when people are out there dying. I mean, I get it, but also at the same time, we have to acknowledge part of people's issues when they come to me in counseling is that they don't acknowledge their own stress. We minimize everything instead of acknowledging it, and the deal is that it doesn't matter if your issue is as big as the other person. It's big to you, and I'm not saying the only way we can work through it and overcome it is if we acknowledge it, so looking at your life and looking at what you're going through, what is it that we need to that you noticed during this period, which to me, I think this was all a test. I think every challenge we face in life is a test to, how am I going to adapt? What do I still need to work on? I never know my limits until I'm pushed to my limit. So through this, what I learned is that, okay, I need to have more workout equipment at home so I can adapt and still get my workouts in, because that is going to be a main stress relief for me. I learned to camp in the backyard. I learned to spend more time with the kids, and to appreciate what I have, to appreciate, I think, when I was watching the TV series Alone, you really got to see people become extremely grateful for the little things that we take for granted. And I think that's been a problem right now. As we rush back out, as the states open back up, I'm concerned that we are going to go back to taking things for granted. And with that, we're going to be totally unprepared for the next crisis that comes. And I'm not preaching doom and gloom. I'm preaching reality. Life is full of challenges. And I think a lot of the problem that we have is that we are not even thinking about being prepared for the next challenge. We go through life with this bit of denial that it's all going to be groovy. It's all going to be cotton candy and caramel apples. It's all going to be easy, or it's supposed to be. It's not. I only become stronger through adversity. I don't become stronger through convenience. And part of this test, to me, was an attitude check. How was your attitude during this process? Did you fall apart? Did you succumb to fear? Did you succumb to anger, rage, and bitterness and resentment? Did you become more hateful, more hurtful, more isolated? Or did you look for ways to be better? And that's the challenge, and as I was watching the TV series, because I think it's on its third or fourth season now, you got to see people rise above their own personal demons, their own personal endurance. And I know the one guy who won in season one. I'm not gonna tell you guys who won, so I don't want to bust the be a story breaker or whatever. But at one point, the individual said that he wasn't a quitter and he didn't know how to quit, and I try to have that in my own life. I don't know how to quit. It doesn't matter how many times I fall. It doesn't matter how many things are thrown at me, whatever. I don't know how to quit anymore. And that doesn't mean that I fight this fight with an attitude. It means I fight this fight with a smile, with hope, with endurance, with perseverance, and being positive, full of faith, not fear. That's how I want to face every challenge, regardless of the circumstances. So when I watch the show, and watch the people go through periods of extreme hunger, I mean, one dude fell into the water and he had to rush back into his sleeping bag and dry off because he was afraid he was going to go into hypothermia, and to deal with those serious challenges and still get up the next day and say, you know what, it's going to be a better day, is powerful. So I guess to me, the challenge that I'm putting forth is you can get up and experience a better day, or you can get up and make it a better day. It all depends on what's in your core. It's not about what's happening in your environment or in the world around you. It's all about what's inside you. Do you have the internal strength and energy to make your world a better place, regardless of what's going on? So that's my quick video this morning. I got to go to work. I love you guys. I'm praying for you guys. And, just keep me in prayer. All right. Peace.